So the Kansas City Chiefs has finally made the move fans have been waiting for, and they traded for a wide receiver. So on Wednesday morning, the Kansas City Chiefs, they acquired the veteran pass catcher DeAndre Hopkins from the Tennessee Titans in exchange for a conditional fourth-round pick. And this trade was honestly insane. But even though this is a good trade and a home run of a trade, the Kansas City Chiefs, they should continue being active on the trade market despite the 6-0 start. Because look, the Chiefs, they can't afford to get complacent. The November 5th trade deadline is looming, and Brett Veach obviously still has a few more weaknesses on the team. I believe he will be making some more trades. Now, obviously, this is about wide receivers, but we're going to talk about cornerbacks as well. So, the Kansas City Chiefs, they should be trying to trade a cornerback, obviously. And Greg Newsome, we're going to make a video on that, actually. We're going to make a video on that. But a guy like Greg Newsome will be good for the Kansas City Chiefs. A defensive tackle like Sebastian Joseph Day would be good. And now we could probably trade one of our running backs, maybe like P-Ron or something like that. But what I've been talking about is wide receivers. I believe that even though we got DeAndre Hopkins, after we place Sky Moore on the IR, and I don't think he was hurt, we should still be trying to get some wide receivers out there. I've been looking at guys like Deontay Johnson and dudes like that because I believe, like, you know, Deontay Johnson or like Darius Slayton, DeMarcus Robinson are all realistic options. That would be very, very good. And DeMarcus Robinson is somebody that I really, really wanted to come back to the Kansas City Chiefs because you look at a guy like DeMarcus Robinson, he hasn't been bad with the Rams. You know, he's been pretty solid with the Rams. I mean, he's a good player. He already knows the system pretty well, so it wouldn't really be a problem with getting him eased back into the offense. It's like similar to a Kareem Hunt situation where you know they're going to come back to the team and they're going to have no trouble fitting in with the offense. DeMarcus Robinson, if you look at his stats, right now he has only 200 yards on the season, which is okay. But last season for the Rams, he had 371 yards with 4 touchdowns, which obviously isn't the best, but it goes to show you that he could come in, he could contribute, especially with the Kansas City Chiefs. I believe he could really, really contribute with us. You know, DeMarcus Robinson's a pretty good wideout. I'm so sorry if you hear anything in my background, man. They're out there literally cutting grass, and it's so annoying, and it's so loud. But let's keep talking about the Kansas City Chiefs and DeAndre Hopkins. So it feels like the Kansas City Chiefs have finally found their new wide receiver one. Well, for what feels like the 5th time in a year. But Patrick Mahomes is going to look to get the most out of DeAndre Hopkins, who's a 32-year-old wideout. And the deal, it will send a conditional 4th-round pick to the Titans, like I said. And there's been some injuries to Chiefs receivers like Hollywood Brown, Rashee Rice, and Juju Smith-Schuster. And, you know, that's something that should be taken into account, that obviously these guys ended up getting injured. So we had to get a guy like Hopkins or whatever. But I still want to see a dude like, you know, Christian Kirk or Slayton or one of them guys on the team. That wouldn't be bad. I mean, Hopkins, he's a good fit for the Chiefs, though. I mean, he has the size, the athleticism to get open in every area on the field. He would definitely step into the role of an injured Rice, a possession receiver who could attack the deep third of the field when the time is right. And that'll make space for Worthy over the top. And it could definitely reduce the number of double teams on Travis Kelce. So Patrick Mahomes should be able to lock in and be good and does what he has to do with this wide receiver core. And with the Kansas City Chiefs struggling to, you know, have solid receivers during the midseason, and even with Hopkins showing signs of age, you still can't bet against a Hopkins-Mahomes combination, especially with Andy Reid designing plays. I mean, look at what the Buffalo Bills did with Amari Cooper, who joined the team in the trade. And within days, he had 60 yards and a touchdown in his debut. And imagine if the Kansas City Chiefs does make another trade and they get even more weapons. It'll be honestly crazy. You know? And the good news for the Chiefs is that they didn't have to risk much to make the deal work. So they'll pay Hopkins at a discount for the remainder of the season. And the draft pick compensation is a 5th-round pick that jumps to a 4th-rounder, depending on Hopkins' playing time in a Chiefs Super Bowl win. And those are obviously conditions that will make KC very happy to give up an early day 3 pick. So this is a very good trade right here, man. Very good trade. And Tennessee was literally trying to waste the final years of Hopkins' prime, which is honestly bad. And now the Kansas City Chiefs got their guy DeAndre Hopkins, and Hopkins finally gets to play with a Hall of Fame quarterback that he deserves. And Hopkins finally gets to go out there and compete for a ring, man, and it's beautiful. I love it. But after the DeAndre Hopkins swap, what we're talking about now is how aggressive could the Chiefs be at the trade deadline? How aggressive could they be? You know, it's still guys out there. I mean, it's still areas that we could get aggressive on. Like I said, that's another receiver. We could get another receiver. We could get a cornerback. We could get aggressive at the D-line. I mean, Charles Omeni, who we know he's slated to return at some point. But Mike Dana has struggled with multiple injuries this season. And the group as a whole has been up and down with a weakened secondary because of the Watson injury. We could see Brett Veach trying to get involved in the market. And we know about the pass rushers. There is a history of good pass rushers being moved at the deadline. So Kansas City could look involved to get in the market. Could look to get involved in the market. And a quarterback definitely makes a lot of sense, because if you look at Isaiah Johnson and Joshua Williams, they're the next man up with Watson out. You know, Johnson, he hasn't logged much NFL experience. He has rough snaps while out there. I mean, Williams has played more during his time with the Chiefs, but he seemed to have fallen out of favor with the coaching staff. So I can see the Kansas City Chiefs definitely trying to go get a cornerback. You know, I like Xavier Howard, bro. We going with the Unk squad anyway. I don't know why not just get Xavier Howard, but that would be more of like a signing. But I also like Greg Newsome in a trade. That would be pretty good as well. And yeah, man, when it comes to the wide receiver core, I don't know. I want to make a trade. I think we will make another trade, to be honest with you. But if we don't, it will be due to the fact that Hollywood Brown is progressing well. You know, he could return before or during the playoffs. So that alone may give them the belief that they have enough at the receiver position with Hopkins, Worthy, and then Brown and Smith-Schuster returning from injuries. But, man, you got to bet on health with this core. But the thing about this team is, like, they're going to do what they have to do, and they're going to win games, you know. But I just can't wait for Sunday. I can't wait to see DeAndre Hopkins play, man. This has been my dream for a minute. I know I made numerous videos on Hopkins to the Chiefs. You know, Hopkins, he's an intelligent veteran who could take pressure off the rest of the offense. He hasn't had the numbers that football fans have become accustomed to this season. But obviously playing with the best quarterback in the league in a contending situation should bring the best out of him. And I believe that it will bring the best out of him. It definitely will bring the best out of him. He knows what's on the line. You know, he's hungry for a Super Bowl. He wants to win one bad. And it just think about when Juju came to the Chiefs and how good he played. Now this is DeAndre Hopkins, and it's going to be Juju times like 5, you know. But it's been your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out, man. Peace.